Hey everyone, I'm Tom from FFSLures and welcome to FFSLures TV. Right, today's little show is going to be a Q&A, questions from the Facebook group. So if you're not on FFSLures Facebook group, head on over there. It's a really friendly community group, and also some FAQs that I get all the time. And also anything you want to ask live, ask the question away. So without further ado, see you in a bit. Okay, so here we go. First of all, let's see. You're going to see a lot of this side of my head, so hopefully it's the best side. So I'm going to be reading off the computer screen, and I've got a little cheat sheet in front of me, and yeah, just going to go with it. Going to go with it. So who's in? Christopher's in. Grant's in. How you doing? Oh, lots of people in. So Ashley, Sean, Paul, Jason, Derek, John. Welcome to the live stream. Cool. So let's start off with a question from the FFSLures group, which is from Bradley Hunt. These are now cut. All that needs doing now is the locating blocks and the I'm going to do a little twist. I'm not going to tell you the twist, because if it doesn't work out, you won't know it. So that's that one. So just hang on for those minis. If you need to put an order in and you're waiting for those minis to be made, don't wait. It could be this week. I still haven't shot it, so I don't know if all that work has been for absolutely nothing. It's just part and parcel. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I've got it all right, and there'll be next couple of weeks. But so that's that one. So Bradley, hopefully that's answered that question for you and everyone else that is waiting on those small lures. Okay, so who is in still? So we got Tiago, Andrew, Stuart, both Stuarts, welcome. So next thing, the biggest, and this is from Andrew asked loads of questions, so thank you, Andrew. That's really good, because without these questions we wouldn't be doing it tonight. So what is the biggest reported fish? Right, well, with that, it's going to be these. You know, the biggest fish of the species is always great. So that pike there, that was my pike on a Mark 1 FFS. That was 21 pounds. That's a 5 from Ash. And that one was the first 5-pounder that was caught by Justin Bill a couple of years ago now, and that was on a Mark 1 FFS as well. So yeah, I mean that's the big fish, but and not taking anything away from those guys, they're bloody amazing fishing. I've caught a 5-pounder. They're just huge. But what I want to look at is everyone else's big fish. So just by going on to the, and again, if you're not on the FFSLures group, head on over there, because it's a really friendly group. So if you just tune in for the first time ever and expect me to be making lures and doing all sorts of things, no, today's just a Q&A. So if you go over to FFSLures, and if we talk about big fish, a big fish to one person is a huge fish to another. So we just type in PB in the search, and immediately, you know, you're seeing these fish by Paul, big fish, Alex, another big perch, Darren, it's a PB on his BFS gear, and PB, just so many. Andrew, Russell, PB Bream, apologies, can't help that. John had a PB but didn't catch it, so he had to end up drinking some whiskey. PB Rough, I mean seriously, that's a huge fish. That's a huge fish. Yeah, Andrew, Grant, another more PB. I mean, Grant had so many PBs this year using FFSLures, it was unbelievable. Tiago, PB Chub, PB Perch, Carl PB on a floating frog, I think it was. I mean, and again, Stephen with a PB, and this PB of mine, it was a drop shot PB. So not only not my biggest fish, but on a method that I didn't really like using. It just works. They work. And that's all I use. It's all I use. It's all I fish with. So which sort of puts me on to one of the next questions is sponsored anglers. Sponsored anglers. I get not so much recently, but get a lot of guys asking for me to send them lures so they can test them. They don't need testing. They've been tested. They work. I'd rather have hundreds of happy customers that will be singing the praises of the lures on Facebook groups than have sponsored anglers. And that's the way it goes. I've got people affiliated that love the lures, love the products, and push them. Jason being one of them, been with me from the start, basically told me to just make the lures. One of the catalysts of actually making FFSLures into what it is now. So Jason's affiliated, but he's affiliated with lots of other people as well. So not really sponsored in the UK sense of sponsored. So yeah, if you just want free lures, yeah, I don't know what to say. that's really that one. That's, yeah, I don't do sponsored anglers. Right, so who else is in? Yes, I'll mix in. Yeah, Grant's flounder. Grant's flounder was a big fish. It was a bit of a surprise as well. Can I make a roach lure for pike? No, just use the FFS fry. Yeah, just there's a paddle tail. I mean, I've caught more pike on finesse stuff than I have on actual big piping gear. That's by the by. Free lures do not pay the bills. Ernest, no, they do not. They do not pay the bills. So that's just, yeah. I do give stuff away. But I don't give stuff away a lot. Right. So, any other questions on? Yeah, send it through on the live chat. Get yourselves involved. I've got these set up questions, but if you can do some questions on the live chat, that would be awesome. So we go to another one. So Sean on the FFSLures group, he asked about scents. Not my scent, but a different scent. I've given away the secret, or one of my secrets, of adding boilie concentrate. Sport fish is one that I use. Also, I think it was Shillham's boilie concentrate. That's really good. But a good friend of mine, Mark Todd, another good friend of FFSLures, actually sort of been there from the start. He's making scent. He's making these. So it's basically a like what you get a lip seal, and it's a yeah, that's strong. No, I'm not going to do it. And it just rubs on. So he's given me that to test, but it was right at the end of the season, and haven't really got any further with it. But that'll definitely be going in the tackle box. And also, if he can make a load of them and people are interested, I'll put them on my website for him. So yeah, that would be really good. So that's one of the scents. The other thing I do is just drop a few drops of concentrate into the bags. So in fact, that leads on to a different question of what is in my bag. So where are we going? Oh, Bradley's on his way to pick up the Scorpion BFS. Lovely. Grant, you got a rod related question. Okay, send it. Is there a custom option for imbis? No. If you want a custom imbi, because the mold is so big, it takes 30. So the normal thing would be 20 imbis. but it takes 30. So if you want custom in-biz, it's going to be a message to me in the workshop. The custom work may be going on hold in a bit. Basically, it takes a lot of time and effort to do custom stuff, and I am knackered. Again, probably one of the biggest reasons why this is a Q&A and not a getting that stuff fired up. I'm reaching burnt out. If I can get enough money in April from sales to have a bit of a break for a week or two, then that's what's going to happen. And the first thing that we'll have to sort of take a back seat will be the custom stuff, because it just takes a long time to do. But it's not to say I won't do it. Bradley, you're listening along on your drive. Yeah, cool, man. Enjoy the Scorpion BFS. It is a nice reel. If you were a Crayon, what colour would you be? I was generally asked this in a job interview for the job I currently have. Well, he obviously answered the right question. What colour would I be? Well, my previous job, I would have eaten them. So, you know, the green ones taste better than the yellow ones, but that's just Crayon eaters. Can I do a live stream on the Shooting Star? That would have to tie in, because each one takes over a litre of plastic. So once you get that heated up, that's going to be about 3 hours of shooting and unloading to get through. So it's not really going to be a live stream-esque type thing. They are awesome, but yeah, it's when I'm on a serious makey kick at the moment, and with the close season, things have slowed down, so I will be getting a chance to do more stuff, you know, like just getting around to doing what I need to get done. From what I've said I'm going to do, that's one of the biggest things. So the Shooting Star is a back burner sort of live stream, probably in the summertime when things have really settled down. I've got lots of high cavity lure molds going, and we'll just go for a shoot of like electric green pumpkin, something like that, or one of the really popular colours that I need lots of stock. So that'll be one for that. Let's see, Grant Elkins, this is the rod thing. A lot of people tell me that a 7 to 21 rod is too heavy for perch, but my thinking is that if you're throwing a 3.5 gram Texas plus a 3-inch creature, then the whole lot is over 7 grams. Okay. I would say it's over the top. It depends where you're fishing. Also, that 7 grams is the lowest weight, isn't it? So that's not the sweet spot. That's your, if you can throw it, you can throw it. There's no reason behind it. I do all my fishing with, you know, up to 12 gram rod. That's all I need for where I fish. I don't have anything to say on that, really. That's for those guys that actually do it, or actually use it. All my life revolves around rivers that you can jump across in like 3 strides. They're small, they're tiny. It's flipping and pitching heaven. The big rivers are only 30 yards wide. I can hit that with a BFS. So yeah, that sort of stuff. Although one of the rivers is deep, and when it's pushing through, you do need like 14 grams, and therefore that rod there is perfect for it. You know, you're going to be throwing 15 gram minimum on that. So yeah, I'll just try and hit the sweet spot in the rod. That's the main thing. Let's put a bit behind. So the scent stuff, put a bit behind the ears. Yeah. Don't get that mixed up with lip balm. No. I'm tempted to taste it, but there we go. Gonna fish a Norfolk Broads this summer. What's your best lure for pike / perch? All of them. I've not had a single lure that hasn't caught a pike. Whether that's a a £3 jack or that 21 pounder. It's so many low to mid doubles on beetle claw, FFS, fang, beaver bug. You know, if you want to be hitting the big perch and the pike, you know, throw a beaver bug weightless. Just throw it out there, let it sink down, twitch it back, anything like that. Go mad for it. Go mad for it. I've had them on the small frogs. So really, it's not me. If I was going pike fishing, actually, if I was going to pike fishing, I would use a 4-inch or 100mm finesse fry or finesse fluke. That'd be it. But they just seem to come along and everything. The last one must have been a mid double, probably at 16 pound, on a beetle claw, on a modified Carolina. So yeah, there's nothing really that a pike won't take. It's just whether you're geared up for it. If I'm targeting pike, you know, I'm going to be throwing it on a beefier rod. I'm going to be throwing it on a heavier line. I'm going to be throwing it on a wire trace for sure. You know, but I don't target pike very often. That's they don't really do it for me. It's weird. Weird. Oh, Ernie, don't worry about the bearing loop. So on another Facebook group, Ernie asked about what lube I use for bearings, and it is the TSI 321. In fact, it was Jason who put me onto it. Really good stuff, really slick. But you do need to keep adding it because bearing oil does dissipate quite quick. Any more news online? Okay, Stuart. Yes. So any more news on the line? I sent an email this morning to the guy that I was dealing with because it's not arrived, and he's actually away until I think he's having a bit of time off until the 12th of April. However, email sent, just waiting, and that's one of the things that is frustrating about what I do, is that I like to get things done. Unfortunately, not everyone else is on that same timescale. I suppose that's coming from the background that I am, is that you say you're going to do something, it's got to be done, and that's what's really frustrating me about the small lures and the moulds, is that they're just taking ages. If I was doing 4-inch swim baits, they'll be made nice and easy because it's an easy thing. You know, the tooling that you need to use for the small stuff. So the 50mm FFS, the ribs are 1mm. So I've got to use smaller than a 1mm on a parallel tooling path, or smaller, and that takes time, otherwise you just go through bits. So yeah, I think it's probably going to be like a 40 to 50 hour mould, but here's what it is. Yeah, beetle claw. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I spoke to so Stuart. Yeah, the coffee, the working dog coffee from one of my veteran friends. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. He said that he got some people that he didn't know. That's new for him, that he doesn't know, wanting coffee. So thank you for supporting. Thank you very much. Tiago, it is working dog coffee. So let's have a look at another question. One of the FAQs. You know, it's a huge one. What lure would you recommend? What colour would you recommend? So I figured I would turn it into what's in your bag. So this bag hasn't been opened since the start or the end of the river season. So this is my bag. What bag is it? This is my 2007 Operation Herrick Afghanistan man bag. So it served me for 6 months. Bombs and bullets and stuff and things and everything else, and it's just what I use. So if it's good enough to have that stuff, it's good enough for that. So first things first, what is there? Well, we've got a measuring tape, so that's just on a couple of bits of perspex. Cut it down to 60 centimeters. I'm hopeful. So that's in there. What else have we got? So we've got one of these boxes. This is my weights and hooks, so Cheb and Texas box. with this hook down here. I've got my MH14s here. It's like to pop out there because I've been throwing it around. Everything 1, 2, 3, 5 and 7. All the others is in that nice box. Flips up nice and easy. My other one, this is my small, oh, hello, that's not so good. Right, this is my drop shot slash stuff box. So there you got everything in there. I'm out of drop shot weights as well, it's not just you guys. So that's in there. What else do we have? Okay, so we got a weigh sling and small Rapala scales. They're awesome. Just make sure that you've got spare batteries for them. What else do we have? What else do we have? Okay, so onto the lures. So people say to me, what lures do you use? Okay, so there's my Inbies in contusion, super finesse worm, the Trues, FFS, the True, super finesse, Inbies, get bit. That was when I first got out the so some black and blue fry and some knife edge prototypes in there. Then we got some gunk, mixed bag. I think, yeah, that's beetle claw, FFS and a few flukes, and looks like I've got some fangs in there. Inbies, yeah, more beetle, get bit, Trues, another big bag of beetle claw. So again, it's only a few colours. More get bit, bit of beetle claw. Yeah, there we go. More get bit. So that's the lures and something special. More get bit FFS. So then we go on to what people ask me, what leader do I use? I use just a tried and tested Trilene. Trilene 4 pound, Trilene 6 pound fluorocarbon. Tough as old boots, ties up nice and easy. I don't use it for anything else apart from abrasion resistance. I don't use fluorocarbon as a pike deterrent or for anything else. I just land a lot of pike using fluorocarbon, but my mindset isn't put on fluorocarbon for pike. A marker pen, and what I've done, I've cut a slot in the top, so when I'm using braid straight through, I just black out that last 2 feet. What else? All these things, here we go. Here's some Evergreen Jigs. They're really nice. Little finesse jigs, 2.8 gram Evergreen Jigs. There was a deal going on I think it was fish deal, so got that going. What else? We've got a there we go. There's the Evergreen Jig, black and blue with a black and blue beetle claw. So you can see how that fits nicely. What else we got? Spare pair of pliers. Got a Nico rig tool or wacky rig tool. And then on the outside we got pliers, forceps, and sunglasses. The sunglasses are a Facebook special. I can't remember who they're from. Basically a brand of whatever, but they're colour changing amber lenses. React to the sunlight. So when people ask what do you have in your bag, what colours, that's it. It's really basic for me. It means that I don't have much to think about on the bank. It's just what lure do I think is going to work that day, or what lure what style am I using, and the colour to suit the conditions. Keeps it simple, keeps it basic, keeps the lure in the water, and not too much going on in the mind thinking, is that right? So that's what's in Tom's sack. Okay, let's see. Can I do a larger frog for surface fishing? This is another kind of question that I get. Can I do? You can see how long it takes to do just the FFS, the mini FFS. So to actually do a larger frog, I did have a larger frog. You saw earlier on Carl's PB. That was the original frog. I don't have the mould behind me right now, but it was a bitch to shoot, and it didn't do well. It caught fish, caught lots of fish, but it was one of those moulds that was so unforgiving that you might get one good frog out of four. Out of 4 frogs would be one good one, and you can't run a business with that. So that's why that frog's gone. There's always plans. There's always plans in here for other stuff. I'm looking at a newer frog design, but again, I can't tell you it's going to be next week because it won't be. So I don't want to sort of give away too much, but there's loads of designs going. I've got lots of designs already done on CAD, and I want to do every lure that I do in a selection of sizes, a bit like Kitech do. They do their 2.8, 3.8, 4.8. So I'm not going to go 7.8. Yes, it's finesse lures. It's I'm not going up to like 7 inches. 4 inches is going to be sort of the biggest I'm going to do. So yeah, so there's always a chance, but it might not be this year for stuff. That's just unfortunately the way it is. Just asked, yep, get a marker pen from Asking the Braid. Let's have a look. Triple injector, a thing in the future. Seen a trap on YouTube, world's worst fishing, shooting some fangs and another craw mold in black, red, yellow combo. They looked really impressive. Not something for production. The triple injector is an awesome bit of kit. Really gets some lovely colorways going and everything else, but it's hard enough to do things with 2 colors, let alone 3. So if I'm pushing, I mean the triple injector, the dual injector is big enough, you know, it's back there. The triple injector is sort of out here, and one of the things that I struggle with is because I'm doing the finesse stuff, like the 2-inch flute, for example. If you get the angle slightly wrong, you don't get a top and bottom laminate. You get all of the top colour this side, all the bottom colour this side, and that's just by having too much of an angle, being not 90 degrees to it. Having the triple injector, which is sort of like this big, this wide, and I'm only using this much plastic, it's not going to work out. So no, the triple injector is great for showcasing different lures and everything else, but as a production thing for me, no, it's not going to be a thing that I do. Looks great though, looks really awesome. So can we do a larger frog? Yeah, got everything in that bag. Part of being the squaddy, you'd put lots of things in a bag and carry it. Yeah, sure, I have a lot of lures, but I don't have a lot of colours. So in that bag, I think I had FFS, beetle craw, InB, a few swim baits, and a few super finesse worm, but just had lots of them because I can say this because I make them, and therefore I have a ready supply. But if I get one fish out of one lure, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. If my lure lasts the whole day, awesome. But if I only get one fish out of a lure, it's there. I'd rather have like lots of lures ready to go, so as soon as one gets trashed, another lure on, out it goes. That's just the way I've sort of evolved from having one of everything, of every type of lure, to having 3 lure types and a few colours. It's just that's the way I've evolved. There's nothing wrong with what everyone else does. It's just not the way I do it. It weighs a little. No, it's not too bad, man. It's probably that bag. It's 7 kilos, mostly because of all the weights. Yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, that's the copy. End of June would be fine for the frogs. I'm on it. Evening, Nick. How you doing? We're all good. A small Kraken will be killer. Yep. The Kraken is due a facelift, but as it stands, it's not a bad one to shoot. In the way it already is. So mostly what I'm doing, I'm getting through the lures that don't shoot so well. So the original Imbi was terrible to shoot. You know, it was 10 lures. If I got 10, I'd be amazed out of each shoot. If it was 6, I'd be happy. But again, it's just because using such large equipment for very small molds, it just is what it is. You know, with the new mold that I made for the Imbi, I've not had a failure. I've not had a failure yet. So that's all good. That's all good. So we're just getting there. We're getting there, building slowly, which sort of goes on to another question from Andrew. How many lures have you sold since starting? I have no idea, but I did go through the analytics today, and I went back for 6 months, so 180 days, and the most lures that are the biggest seller was the FFS. That was 800 packets of FFSLures, FFS in the 6 months. The next was 600 Imbi and 600 Frog. So I think on a mediocre week, I'm making around 800 lures a week, individual lures. So that could be one tadpole. But when I do my chart of what I need to make for that week's orders, it has a little number down the bottom, and it's normally around 400 to 500 per shooting day, and I get 2 shooting days a week. So yeah, it's about 800 lures a week for a normal week. So times that by 52. It's a lot. It's a lot. 4,000, 40,000, 40,000 lures, something like that. Yeah, loads. Don't know. No idea. For a year, 52 weeks. Who knows? But that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, 200 lures. Keep trying, Stuart. They keep trying to scale it back, and it slowly builds up. Yes. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. You know, it's. I wanted to get the gonk and the Imbi. No, the gonk and get bit. Normally, I wouldn't take them. That was end of season. Let's try this one. So yeah, it's really. And again, I'm probably repeating myself to those that have tuned in many times. My sort of eureka moment before I started making lures was to get it down to using Z-Man and Kitech, and using three lures: Crazy Flapper, Swinging Pat, Fat, and the TRD. Once I got my lure bag down to that, it was black and blue and the deal in TRD. Those are my colours. It was Junebug and Electric Green Pumpkin in the Crazy Flapper, and I only had one colour for the Swinging Pat Fat, and that was Bluegill Flash, which actually is very similar to Get Bit, and that's what I did. So my swim bait was just one natural pattern. The creatures were 2, one for clear water, one for coloured water, and the Z-Man was the same, so clear water, coloured water. And once I had that in my bag, it was so easy, so easy. Let's have a look. If you could only have one lure in one collar combo and one technique, what would it be? It would be a Texas rigged weightless So weedless, Texas rigged, beetle claw in contusion or Junebug. Junebug, contusion, Junebug. One of those colours. One of those colours. Probably Junebug because it's easy to shoot. Yeah, that would be it. Because then you could take the claws off it and make it into like a mini stick bait with some little antenna. Put it. Yeah, I do like the beetle claw. I do like the beetle claw. It's what I do. It's a creature. It's kind of where I sort of really went straight as a die. Yeah, I mean, you can throw it weightless and use it as a top water. It's tricky, the beetle claw, because it's 2.5 gram and it's got these huge flappers, and it does catch the wind. So I do find myself having to give it a bit of extra weight to get it out there, because it does catch the wind. It slows down, and with a bait caster it can really mess you up if you haven't got a quick enough thumb. But yeah, that would be my one lure, one colour, one technique, if I had to. So there you go. Does using the wire trace stop you catching so many perch, and what's the best trace for perch / pike? I only use a wire trace if I'm using trebles. That's it. It's a conscience thing. Having grown up fishing for chub, I didn't bat an eyelid when I used to use 4-pound line with a size 4 hook. If it got snapped off, it was bam. A pike shedding a smallish hook in comparison, single hook, it's going to get rid of it. The only time I get bitten off on pike is on the initial hit. So if that's the case, it's just gone, sheared off, spat out. I'm happy with that. That's I've not hooked it. I've probably lost 2 pike that I've hooked because they rolled and snapped. The thing that I see with, if you use ultralight kit and you have a single hook, especially a weedless type design, when you hit it, that hook is now coming out, it's weedless, not catching, it gets to the jaw and then it hits, then it sets, and that's where the majority, I'd say 99% of all the pike that I've caught, in fact I've never caught one in the mouth, it's always been in the scissors or in the jaw, in the front, purely because when you hit it, you're ripping that hook out of the pike's mouth and it's catching on the way out, and the only place it catches is on the jaw. So as long as that pike doesn't roll and you're playing it well, you've got your drag set correctly. I can't remember the last time I lost a pike. Yeah, and if it has been, it's been on the initial, as I've been bringing the lure through the water, all of a sudden there's been a bite, and all of a sudden there's no tension at all, it's just snapped or been bitten through. So yeah, it's not intentional. I don't target pike with ultralight stuff, but they do come along. So if I'm using trebles, I will use a trace, but you've also got to remember that when you tie your trace on, you're adding something else in, and if your line does snap with a trace, you're then going to leave the trace with the hook in the fish. So you've got to be sure that you're using really well balanced tackle and well balanced kit. So that's it. But I've caught pike when I've been using red flake for chub, and I didn't use a trace then, and I don't you don't use a carp rod when you're fishing for roach, but there's a chance you're going to catch carp. That's just the way I look at it. Unpopular opinion, could have just cost me loads of customers, but that's the way I see it. I'm not targeting pike, targeting perch, and lands 99% of the pike, and the ones that I don't, they've pretty much just smashed me to pieces in the first 2 seconds and therefore shed the hooks. Very interesting study done in Canada, where they intentionally left hooks in pike and each one shed the hooks within a day or two. It's when they take them down deep, they throw themselves up. Oh, front door, that'll be my dinner. Yeah, so that's it. But if you do want to go with the trace, I use nitinol, because I can tie it on the bank. If I really think it's an issue, I tie up on the bank and it's done. Scissors all the way, never had a problem. Yeah, do you go barbless on your hooks? No, I don't. No, the only time I take the barb off is if I'm having a trouble getting the hook out of a fish. The Gerzer hooks, they're really sticky, those barbs. So I do actually, if instead of tearing a fish trying to get this barb out, I'll just use my forceps, crush the barb down, take the hook out, and then being lazy, I'll just use that hook until it blunts or I lose it in the trees opposite. So that's with me and barbless hooks. So I don't know, there's always been this sort of thing with barbless hooks for carp are bad because they move about a lot and this, that and the other. I don't understand that. If you've got constant pressure on, and I don't see how the barb at the end of the hook is going to stop it moving about. But that's just one of those things that I hear it but I don't understand it, so I don't pay attention to it. Other than moored boats and locks on canals, what features do you look for? Plus, do you concentrate more on retrieve? What am I looking for feature wise? I'm looking at far bank vegetation. I'm looking at any sort of lily pads or reeds and things like that, and I'm pitching into it as close as possible. That's why 99% of my stuff is weedless. All my presentations are weedless, because I want to get it into those bushes, and find that if you get it right over to the far bank, underneath something, a couple of switches, and you're going to get hit. If you don't, and it's the other thing that I really got schooled on one of the canals in, I think it was the Ashby or Coventry or Oxford, one of those. And as I was flipping, I was using, pitching, as I was using a 5 gram weight, I was getting lovely pitch. I must have covered about 500 yards, just pitching to the far bank, bop off, move, nothing. It wasn't until I tried it in the margin that I realised that 5 gram was taking me so far into the sill on the cheb weight that nothing was actually seeing it. It was just going in, disappearing, coming out, going in, and I was reeling away. So always check the weights that you need as opposed to the weights that you can cast with. So that's another one to look out for. Let's have a look. So yeah, thank you for all these questions on the live. It's really good, really quite good, and nice to talk to you guys about it. Right, so the most popular, this is another one from Andrew, the most popular lure and colour. I don't know colour, I don't know. I make so many, and everyone's different. Everyone's different. I rarely get an order of someone that I have recently. I've had a few orders where people just wanted 20 frogs in watermelon, summer craw, motor oil, June bug. That was their 4, and so they got 80 frogs in those 4 colours. I know unpopular colours. Watermelon red is really unpopular in the UK or amongst you guys. I don't know why. It's a great colour. Electric green pumpkin, again, really unpopular. Very popular colours are Bama bug, something special, and motor oil. They're probably the most popular colours that I make a lot of. Yeah, it's very surprising. But also I'll get a lot of orders where it'll be a different lure in one colour and another lure in a completely different colour and then another lure in another colour. So I think a lot of guys are still trying to find that one colour that they have the utmost faith in. And that's cool. That's cool. Just means that I make a lot of lures on a daily basis. That's all. So that's all good. When was the last time I fished with bait? 4 years ago. 4 years when I first moved up here, first moved into Fens, and I was fishing from the kayak on the 20-foot drain. Thank you, whoever made that order. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I was fishing a 20-foot drain, and I was using Carolina rigged Dendrobinas, and had an absolute whale of a time. It was before I started lure fishing, really. It was before I started really doing what I was doing. In fact, I think I was still in that Fox spiky shad. That was all I could get my hands on phase, and one of everything. And I just needed a day where I was catching fish, and the Dendrobinas on the Carolina absolutely smashed it. Nothing big, but it was nice. And I got checked for my EA license then as well. So probably since then 2 more times I've been checked for that. But getting the kayak into the bank, some of your license checks, it opened my eyes, and I thought it's not a bad area. It's good. So yeah, that's that one. That was the last time I used bait, but yeah, 4 years ago. What rod size do I use? Length, I go up to a 7'6", but that is up to 5 grams. That's sort of a 0.5 to 5 gram rod. That's my normal. But that's got a lovely parabolic action. It's a moderate fast action, custom build that I did myself. And the others, I think the heaviest I go up to is another custom built medium light, which was an MHX blank from the US that I got sent over, and that's my medium light setup. But medium light, that only really goes up to 3/8, which is 10 gram, and that's sort of my speciality. I'll break it out if I really think there's some big perch knocking around and I need to get over to the far bank with some big lures. When I say big lures, I mean beaver bug. So that's yes, that's the rods that I use, and down to a 6 foot custom rod from Malaysia, which is my crankbait rod, which is a really parabolic. It's got a real moderate action to it, which is nice for the cranks. But I don't really throw cranks that often. I mostly throw cranks from on the boat, and I'm sort of casting along features, and I feel like they're chasing, and I throw a crank. But I probably throw cranks about 4 times a year. Yeah, you guys in Sussex, you love your Bama bug. It's a real pain in the arse colour, so that comes on to another one. It's a real pain in the arse colour to bore. But I don't know why it is, but it is. It's a real pain in the arse colour. I could probably send out a lot more lures if I didn't have OCD than I do, but sometimes that colour just, it breaks me. And it's the first on my list. It's the first on my list to do, and I know if it's going to be a good day or not if I get a lot of Bama bug and how well that goes. So yeah, yeah, watermelon red, it's a great colour, especially clear water. But I know, Bradley, where you are, you don't get a lot of clear water, so it's not always going to happen. Let's see, my least favourite lure and colour to pour or to shoot, to make. Oh, I have three lures that I hate making. Not gonna lie to you, 3 lures that I hate making because they are so finicky. It's unbelievable. That is the Fang. That is the Super Finesse Worm and the 50mm Fluke, because they're just so picky. The Fang, the sprue is so big. Let's see. So that channel is so big that if your mixing block twists to one side, or like this, or just rocks slightly, you get it's just crappy laminate, and it's a real pain in the ass. Unfortunately, it's such a great lure, and I just get on with it. Yeah, so I might, out of a possible 8 cavities per shoot, I might get, if I get 8, it's an amazing feat. If I get 10, if I get 10, it'd be a bloody miracle. If I get 6, it's been a good day. And unfortunately, a lot of people, when that's in popular opinion, I've got to do like 30 of those a day in each colour. Breaks me a little bit. So yeah, the Fang is a pain in the arse. The Super Finesse Worm is a pain in the arse. For the other reason that it's so small that any mistake, and literally I've got to push the plunger with 2 fingers, wait for it to stop plunging, and that's it, and then just hold my breath and hope. And the 50mm fluke is the same because it's so small. It's so small. Stuart Day, yes, yes, it was. Yeah, Stuart said that his last order was my worst nightmare. Yes, it was. I appreciate it. I appreciate your order and I appreciate your custom. But that's the secrets of FFSLures, where it is. So, oh, the colour that I fell out of love with the most, as much as Bug and Red Signal do not shoot well. The worst one was Perfect Sunday, the strawberries and cream, the white and bubblegum, purely because any mistake with a white colour. So white is horrible because it burns easy. It chars. It takes on yellow so quick. Any type of overheating. So all the colours I use, I can reuse time and time again. Saves money, production time. But white, I have to bin it straight away. So I'd have to do a run, and then anything that's left over gets binned, because if you reheat it, there's a chance that it's just not going to work out. And couple that with bubblegum's actually really picky as well. That gets binned as well straight away. So the mix of the two, one, it was a real pain to do because you have to be so careful, and 2, if you got a little bit of turbulence going, especially in something like the Fang, if you got a bit of turbulence in those 2 colours coming in, it would just churn up, and it wouldn't look like a good camo pattern. It would just be frustrating, and just gone, done, finished. So I'm still not in love with Perfect Sunday. That is why it's out of stock, because I can't bring myself to make it. That's the truth. Oh yeah, Champagne Shad, that was a pain in the backside too. That's without a shadow of a doubt. Champagne Shad was a pain in the ass. So that one's gone as well. Gold Smoke has gone because the glitter in the Gold Smoke, again, gold doesn't hold up to reheating well. Gold glitter doesn't hold up to reheating well. It just changes colour, goes silver. So Gold Smoke, no, that's gone as well, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's too much wastage. It's got to that point now where I've got to really sort of prioritise in what there is. But it wasn't popular. Gold Smoke wasn't popular at all. And Champagne Shad, when you use a very light green pumpkin brown, the thing with Champagne Shad was that you got it perfect or you didn't. And if you got it perfect, it was awesome. But there was also ones where I just didn't put enough in, and then the colour washed out. So it was almost like a urine coloured lure. I'm like, no, that's bad. And then if you do too much, it's just a green pumpkin. So that's another reason why that one's gone. Hey Jake, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Right, what else we got? What else did someone ask me the other day? Oh, competition from other small businesses. I don't have an issue with it. I would rather see the small guys start to win for a change. So people that are importing stuff and they're getting stuff out there, yeah, fair play. People that want to make soft plastics, don't do what someone did and try to muddy FFSLures just to try and get yourself ahead. That was not classy. So really, as long as the competition's classy, I have no issue with it. In fact, it's better for you guys. It keeps me up in my game. It keeps me wanting to be better. So yeah, competition's good. Competition's good. It means that there's people that are turning this hobby into a business, and I'm confident where I am. I've got you guys. You guys are awesome. I mean, the whole thing, these live streams just show it. You know, we got you guys there as a customer base, and that sort of leads back to the whole sponsored angler thing. You know, someone said to me, in fact it was Sean on Perch Fishing, he said, you have so many loyal customers and your customer base is so loyal. Whenever someone asks for a recommendation for something, you guys just pull it out. I'm not allowed to self-promote on that Facebook page, but I don't need to, because I've got a lot of happy customers, and that's why I do what I do, because I love seeing you guys catch fish, and I love making sure that you stay loyal and keep buying lures. So don't sit on my laurels, don't take anything for granted. Make sure that you treat people the way you want to be treated as a customer, which is why I get very frustrated with the suppliers at the moment. Yeah, Jason, I mean, again, you make your own lures, but you choose to buy from FFSLures. It's without this setup, I'd probably still make for myself, but it wasn't until I moved to this house, which had a workshop with it, that I couldn't imagine having to do this anywhere else. In fact, if it wasn't for moving here, I wouldn't be doing this. You know, having somewhere where you can have an old microwave, you've got good ventilation, you can make your plastics, but then you've got to then spend the money, and it's, as a hobby, it's expensive. It's an expensive hobby. I must have thousands of pounds in moulds. I've got thousands of pounds here just in stuff and things. It's crazy. It's crazy how it is. And even when I was just making for myself, so I think I had the original FS, which were just some 3-inch stick baits from America. They, you know, you talk about £400 just to ship them over, or buy and ship over. You know, it's a crazy hobby. It's a crazy thing. But maybe the UK will be better at it, and there'll be more competition. Christopher, oh, thank you. That's FFSLures are the best. I love you guys. You're awesome. Thank you. It's yeah, that's why I do it. That's why I do it. That's why I get up in the morning and go, oh, got to make plastic. It's great. Oh, here's one. Paul Bickley, if you're still there, this is your question. Where is it? What is the worst thing that I do? Or what do I hate the most? Packaging. Without a doubt, it's packaging. Closely followed by chasing suppliers. And I've only got two. Yeah, packaging is awful. It's horrible. It's not horrible, it's just so time consuming. Now, even if I was to make stock, I think there's something like 12 or 13 colours now, probably even more. Yeah, much more, probably about 20 colours now. They all still need packaging, no matter if I make stock or if I do it to order. They all need packaging. Thankfully, the good lady Lisa, she is able to help me with labels. So I'm a walkie-talkie, and she is there making labels for me. So backwards and forwards. If it wasn't for Lisa, I don't know what I'd do. Not label stuff, probably. Just send it out. What's the thing? Oh, there you go. Yeah, Paul, exactly. So you just come up with that question. Yeah, what's the thing you don't enjoy about FFS that could be within the lure making procedure, admin, or accounts? It's definitely the. I mean, I don't mind the accounts. The accounts are quite easy now with software. So once a month, everything's just gone from bank statements onto accounts, and then you just send it into the tax man and hope they're kind. that's it. That's quite simple, really. It's packaging. It's packaging because it's long, and the better the week, or the better the week has been, the worse it is, purely because there's so much of it. But I digress. It's not a long commute to work. No, there are perks to it. There are perks to it, and so come down, grab a coffee, feed the dogs, and walk into work. Yeah. Right. Okay. That. Hopefully you enjoyed the Q&A. There was lots to go through. So thank you so much for being part of it. I am having problems. This is another thing. Doing too much. I'm having problems with Cyberlink Powerdirector. So if anyone has got experience with Cyberlink Powerdirector, so I can upload these to YouTube. The issue I'm having is that the first 4 or 5 seconds is muted for whatever reason. If I cut and remove the first clip, when that other clip goes to that position, the first 5 seconds is muted. So I'm having real issues there. So if anyone can help me out, send me a message, and I would really appreciate it, because that's really annoying too. But it is what it is. First world problems. Lots of worse things that could be happening. The wife's got Emmerdale on TV. Don't go yet. Oh, I'm sorry, man. My dinner's been here for about 10 minutes. So Chinese tonight. Chinese. Yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for asking the questions. Hopefully I answered them pretty well. Hopefully my homemade haircut, I got everything. You could always tell if I haven't. And yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Hopefully you'll get out in the water. I'm starting to go a bit stir crazy, but that's just the way it goes. Yeah, thank you as ever, FFS family. You're awesome. So tight lines. See you later. Ta-da.